May this video be the flame that warms your heart, illuminating your path with the light of love and acceptance.
This is a quality that you will need. Your body says, enough, I've had it. But you're adamant. This is Hatha Yoga. Your mind says, I give up, I can't do this anymore. But you are adamant, you simply do it. So Hatha Yoga is about creating a body which will not be a hurdle in one's life. It will become a stepping stone, but not a hurdle, not a roadblock in one's progress of blossoming into his ultimate possibility. So simple tips. I am not known for giving tips. Bad reputation I have, but simple tips. In the yogic culture, a shower, there was no shower. Bath always meant dip in the river. They always went to the river, dipped, come out and do it. If you do this, your muscles will be good. So, an alternate way of doing it is, usually in our homes, the pail that we use to pour water is this big. At least it has 4 liters of water. If you do this, the whole body, that's it, always… I'm not going to insist on this for the ladies, your hairstyles and everything, but always a bath means the first pail of water is on your head, always. Putting cold water on your body will shift the heat into your brain very rapidly, it should not happen. So this is why those who don't want to wet their hair, at least should take a little bit of cold water and put it, there's a point here, in line with your ears, here. At that point, you put little cold water, immediately you will see a certain cooling happens in the head region. After that, you can have bath with just the body. But otherwise, you always… the first pail of water is over your head, not on your body. So what you do is, you fill the bucket and that's the best way to do it in the morning. The body should be immersed in water, that you're trying to create a simulated dip in the river, okay? At the same time, the whole body should be… at least the skin should be covered in water at the same time, not like this, like this, If you pour water, the whole body… the body should think you're taking it for a dip. So, if you pour like this, there is a certain coolness in the system and muscles become very flexible. Shower can do it too, if the shower is forceful enough, or at least if the volume of water is good enough, shower can easily do that. It's always best that we use water which is little cooler than the room temperature. Just a certain volume of water to flow over you, or to be immersed in a water which is cooler than room temperature. Because if this happens, one thing that happens on the surface is the cells, the epithelial cells will contract. When they contract, they open up all the pores. The pores between the cells will open up. The cells themselves have pores. We don't want that to open. That will open if you put it in warm water. If you dip your body in a hot water tub, the cells will open up and take in water. that is not always a good thing to do. You put the body in cold water, the cells will contract, the in-between spaces will open, and that's important for practicing yoga. Because we want the cellular structure of the body to be charged with a different dimension of energy. If the cells contracts and it allows space and then you practice your yoga, then the cellular structure in the body is charged. Why one person seems to be far more alive than the other is essentially because of this. And once your cellular structure is charged with energy, it will remain youthful for a very, very long time. When people are thinking, why the old bugger is still not dead, you still feeling like you're 25. Hatha yoga is a way to frustrate the world also. So, water which is cooler than the room temperature. In India, it is in South India at least, it's not so much of a problem, the water is always in that temperature, ideal place. But if you're in a colder country, if you're in a temperate climate, the water may be too cold. That is not good. The water must be, let's say, within 5 to 8 degrees centigrade lower than the room temperature, not more than that. So if you have a tendency to catch cold initially, first couple of weeks, you put a spoon of eucalyptus oil in the water, cold water, and pour it over you. You will see your cold will go away, not because of the eucalyptus oil, just because of the cold water. If you have an infection and something else where excess mucus is being generated, that needs to be treated differently. But as I said, the water should be just somewhere 5 to 8 degrees below room temperature, not an excessively cold water, no. If there's any kind of interaction, any kind of mingling and mixing of whatever kind, if you're in a crowd for too long, when you go home, first thing is shower. You must do this. If it takes 3, 4, 5 showers in a day, it doesn't matter. For a sadhaka, it's good to shower many times a day. You shouldn't overdo it. But there were times when I used to shower minimum 5 to 7 times a day. Now it's come down to maybe 2 definitely, sometimes 3. 2 is a must for you. More is good. Any kind of physical contact happens with somebody, a period of more than, let's say, 6 minutes, if you're even holding somebody's hand, before you do yoga, it's best that you have a shower. This is not a cleansing thing. We are not trying to clean the body, that's not the point. It's not because somebody is impure, you're trying to clean your body. Yoga is a way of organizing your energies into an individual. So if any kind of transaction happened too much, if I come and sit in a program, I'm not even physically touching anybody, if I sit in a program for 2, 3 hours, first thing is shower. Because just the interaction creates a certain amount of… the integrity of your energy becomes little loose. So at any time, first thing when you go home, shower. Shower need not mean soap, shampoo, this, that.
a bucket full of water, boom. Just water flowing over, it purifies. How does water purify without washing and scrubbing? Not like that. You know, in nuclear reactors, they're using certain metals, particularly metals like titanium and even platinum and few other things. If they want to purify these metals, they want metals in the purest form. In the normal laboratory process, they can only purify to a certain point, beyond that they're not able to purify. So what they do is, you make a rod of this metal and make another ring. Just move it up and down without touching. Just do this. You will see the metals will get purified. So 72% of your body is water. You just throw water over this, there is a certain purification. Not about washing the dirt on your skin, that is anyway there, that's a different thing. But a certain purification on a deeper level happens, just allowing water to flow over you. Have you seen, suppose you are very tense on a particular day, when you go and stand under the shower, you don't want to come out, you want to just stay there for some time. Those 3 minutes or 5 minutes in the shower hasn't solved any problem in your life, but when you come out, it looks like it's gone. You're like born fresh. Have you noticed this? You feel it's all gone because all that's happening is, this is largely 2/3 of it is water. If just water flows on this, certain things will change.
Really referring to only the thought process. Thought process is the most surface element of your mind. I think because of European thought, we have given too much significance to the thought. In the yogic science, we do not attach any importance to what you're thinking about or feeling right now, because what can you think? Only the data that you have collected, you're recycling it, it's of no great consequence. Whatever is on the surface of your mind keeps rolling, that is not of any consequence. What you're thinking and feeling right now is very surface of mind. There are deeper dimensions of the mind. In Sanskrit language, there are many words to describe the different states of mind. But now there is one aspect of the mind, for lack of time and stuff, I'll leave those things. There is one aspect of the mind which we refer to as chitta. Chitta is the innermost core of the mind, which is your connection with what we are referring to as consciousness. If your chitta becomes conscious, if your chitta acquires a certain level of conscious control, if you acquire, now you have access to your consciousness. What we are referring to as consciousness is that dimension which is neither physical, nor is it electrical, nor is it electromagnetic. It is a quantum leap from physical to non-physical dimension. A non-physical dimension being the lap of the existence. It is the non-physical in whose lap the physical is happening. Physical is a small happening. In this cosmos, not even 2% or not even 1% is physical, rest is non-physical. This non-physical dimension, in the yogic terminology, we use a specific sound which is connected with that dimension. Today it's all very highly distorted. We call this Shiva. That means that which is not. When we say Shiva, we are not referring to some man sitting up there. We are talking about a dimension which is not, but it is in the lap of this dimension, everything that is happens. So if your chitta becomes even mildly conscious, your ability to not only communicate an idea or a thought, even to deliver something is possible. Physically deliver something is possible. So, is it a possibility? Definitely it is. Right now, can we teach it to all these people? In theory, yes. But are they willing to work towards it? That's a question mark. One big problem is, our education systems are such, we have glorified our thought to such a place. First, to bring that down itself will take time. To make them understand the stupidity of their thought, it will take a whole lot of time. Because everybody thinks they're smart, but actually the smartest thing about most people is their phone. See, because your thought process is just an outcome of the limited data that you have gathered. It doesn't matter if I've read the libraries of the world, still it is too limited compared to what it is, what the creation is. With all the scientific development, we still do not know how a leaf really works. We do not know how a single atom in its entirety we do not know with all the scientific exploration. So that should be humbling enough for everybody to know that we know how to use things, but we do not know what it is. It will take lifetime of attention to even grasp the fundamentals of what it is. So if people are willing to first of all understand, like the whims of their heart you just dismissed as dumb, okay? If they also understand the so-called smartness of their thought process and emotion is quite dumb, now it becomes easy. It becomes easy to train people that communication it's not like, now I want to generate this thought and give it to you, not like that. Things will happen to you before you think. What is best for you will simply happen to you even before you articulate in your mind. You don't have to ever think what you want to become, how you want to be. Life will just arrange itself. An intelligence beyond what you can contain in this bone box starts working for you, and it'll work. You heard of Ramanujam and others just opened a window with their Devi, and he becomes that kind of a mathematician, which is, even today after 1 century they're still trying to figure out what he said. And the mathematical calculations that he gave is the backbone for describing the black holes in the universe. When he was there was no word called black hole, nobody knew there is such a thing. When we say black hole, what we are talking about is the curve of time and gravity, which is something modern science is battling with. He made mathematical background for that. As the curve increases, what is in existence, physical existence, becomes non-existence. So this is what it is when we say yoga. You reduce the curve in such a way that what is largely physical becomes non-physical. Once it's non-physical, time and space is not an issue. Once time and space is not an issue, communication is simply there.
About 20 years ago, Sadhguru, I received a check for 1 lakh rupees from a retired major from Indian Army. He just gave his name, he refused to, he didn't give his address. And he wrote a small note stating that the money I am giving you is too small for the path you have chosen. But God has His own mysterious ways of giving you the rest. It had a tremendous impact in what I thought, what I wanted to do. Is it because there is something called cosmic forces which are constantly trying to help society and doing, or it's something else which is influencing people to do something which is beyond their means?
See, the ideas of something wants to help, something reaches out to you. I happened to be about 4 weeks ago I was in Los Angeles and I was staying with some people there, and the bedroom was full of books. So I just picked up one of these books and so on. The author is saying, the core of the universe is love. Why would the core of the universe be love? Because this thing has been always told to people, from heaven God loves you, all these people. See, if you're having a roaring love affair right now with somebody next to you, here, will you look up and ask for rays of love to come towards you? I'm asking you. No, you made yourself in such a way nobody can love you. Now, only God can love you. If you say, God loves me, you must know you are such a pathetic, despicable case. If you made yourself in such a way, nobody can help loving you, you are a wonderful human being, isn't it? So we need to understand there is something called human thought and emotion, human needs, of emotional needs of love, care, touch, this. The cosmos, or what you're referring to as the source of creation or divine, or if you want to use the word God, because God personifies thing, we will refuse to use that word. Let us say whatever is the source of creation, which we're referring to as God generally by religious this thing. Essentially, it is just an intelligence which is simply exploding into everything possible. If you're in rhythm with it, you will rise. If you're not in rhythm with it, it'll crush you. It has no love, it has no compassion, it has no intention of helping you, it has no intention of harming you, it has no nothing. If you understand the forces and ride it, you have a fantastic life. If you do not understand, it'll crush you. You've seen people doing surfboarding on the waves in the ocean. It is such a magical thing, just riding the wave. But if you don't do it right, if you go into the waves, it's like being in a concrete mixer, it'll just do that and it'll kill you. So one rides the wave, another gets crushed by the wave, that is all that's happening. The rest is all human interpretations. This is the first thing we have to stop, that we do not extend our thought and emotion to the existence. This is relevant between you and me. This is relevant between you and your family members. You love them, I love you, you love me, all this fine. Don't look up at the sky and say, I love you. It will not say, I love you back, because it has no such need. It's pure existence. This is what you have to become. If you sit here, you are a complete existence by yourself. This is a full-fledged life. It does not need anything from anybody. It has everything. It is connected with everything in the universe. It does not need anything. But we want to play our games, okay, we can do all this stuff, but you need to understand right now, we are trying to extend our compulsions to the whole creation. It doesn't work like that. Existence is not trying to help you. You may be in tune with it, bingo, you are. Whether you got in tune with it consciously or unconsciously, somehow you got in tune. That's why Shankara said, yogaratova bhogaratava. That means somehow you do it, I don't care. Adi Shankara went to the extent of somehow you do it. You get it, man, that's important. How you get it, who cares?
Sadhguru, I am constantly torn between my senior colleagues who are extremely skilled surgeons. Sadhguru, on the heart there are some procedures which are done by very few people on this planet. I'll give an example. I do an operation called pulmonary endarterectomy. That's the blood clots from the leg goes to the lung arteries and it clogs up all the arteries. So 25 years ago, there was no cure for this. And once you're diagnosed, you're destined to die within a year. Today, people who are on home oxygen for 2 years, 3 years, you do the operation, they can go back to skydiving or they can go to scuba diving. That's the transformative effect. But there are only 50 surgeons, less than 50 surgeons in this world who can operate. And like this, we have some of my colleagues who are extremely gifted surgeons. They are in their 50s now. And some of them are constantly talking about retirement. Especially one surgeon who is an extremely gifted surgeon who can fix any damaged valve. He is single, he has no other commitments. Every other day he talks about going to Benares or somewhere and retire, and I keep telling him that God didn't create him to retire and meditate. He has to be fixing all these problems. So he gives me extension every 6 months, Guruji. So at the end of 6 months, the usual rigmarole starts. He talks about retirement and everybody is depressed in the hospital. So how do you deal with this kind of people?
You must give him a 1-year sabbatical with me. Yes, because the need or the idea of retirement enters anybody's mind because of the monotony of what they're doing, whatever it may be. Somebody else may think it's a great thing, but in your experience somewhere it's becoming monotonous or stagnant. Stagnation is one thing that human intelligence and human system cannot take, and most of the ailments are because of stagnation. Stagnation of life. They may be getting their, once in 3 years promotion, they may be making little more money, all these things may be happening. But somewhere experientially there is a stagnation, which could be a major cause for many of the complex ailments that people manufacture within their systems. The more complex they get, you try to create more talented surgeons. I'm saying we are manufacturing the problems, we are trying to manufacture a solution. I think as we offer solutions, people who have already gotten into problems, they need solution. But it's very important that we teach people how not to create these problems, so that instead of 50, you have to produce 5,000 expert surgeons to attend to all these people who are on self-help to illness. So I would say a surgeon who has a certain competence and who has worked through his life, if he wants to explore something of his own nature, that would be the greatest thing to do, because he's not a man without commitment, not competence. When competence and commitment is there, you should not run him through the rigmarole and destroy that possibility. It's important that he explores something of his own nature, which will make him… we don't know what he'll come up with. You cannot even estimate what he may come up with. I think a sabbatical is good. He may come up with something that you've not thought possible.
I will convey your message, Sadhguru. I'm sure he's watching this program. Sadhguru, I believe that talent is something which is grossly exaggerated in success. It's… when I was in medical school, I used to teach martial art. That was my passion. And every time a Bruce Lee's movie was released, all these school kids would come and join in hordes to martial arts schools. We used to call it Bruce Lee
They're gone after 2 weeks.
Yes. And I used to see some kids whose physique is meant for martial art, who have the natural flair, and I used to think, oh, this kid is going to get a black belt. And interestingly, Swamiji, after 6 months, they're never there. The guys who go up to the black belt and, do something very good in martial art are the ones who joined the school without any skills, without any talent, who worked very, very hard. For everything they had to sweat it out. But in the end, they're the ones who succeed. How do you explain this phenomenon?
See, a variety of reasons, let me not go beyond this. For a variety of reasons, a certain individual could be born with a certain flair, physical flair, mental flair, emotional flair, style. 5-year-old child, one has style, other is clumsy. So the one with the style is not going to become necessarily a fashion thing. Somebody else who seems to be clumsy may grow into something else. Like, you don't know when a woman is pregnant, the child within that womb, whether it's a sage or a sorcerer, nor the woman know. No, the mother does not know whether she is producing a sage or a sorcerer or what. This is because I use the word coherence because of modern science is using that word. Who you are here right now, as you sit here, this is physics. Every subatomic particle is in constant contact with everything. What you call as cosmos is living life and it's a live mind. You have captured only one small part of it. If you work with only that one small part of what you have captured, both as life and as intelligence, you will function at a certain level. If you apply yourself to break the barriers of your limitations that you've set for yourself, then there is an intelligence beyond anybody's understanding, beyond anybody's estimate, which is available to you. Once this is available to you, people think you're superhuman. No, this is not about being superhuman. This is about realizing that being human is super. The immensity of being human has not been realized. So we are always making a kind of a mathematical calculation. Okay, if this person has this much IQ, maybe this is what he will become. This is what Newton's law, that everything that moves on this planet works to a mathematical precision or a geometric precision. That is, if you take a pendulum, the length of the pendulum will decide how it will swing. If you take a projectile, depending upon its mass, velocity and the trajectory, it will go to a certain place. That is not how the cosmos is working, because what you think is physical and not physical is all mixed up within this human being. The physical self, the psychological self, the emotional self, and who you call as myself, the life within you, the fundamental life process, these are all different dimensions. And the innermost core of who you are, which… because all the other words are corrupted, I'll use the word life or just you, what you call as me. This, if you allow it, if you do not identify it with any form, with your physical form or with other different identities that you take on, it has a way of being cohesive or collaborative with everything around. When we say somebody worked hard, all he's trying to do is stretch his boundary of identity, isn't it? He's trying to stretch his boundary. If he succeeds to stretch his boundary, something that he never thought possible or imagined that is within his competence or capability becomes his. Miraculously, I can show you hundreds of people who come to me, we prepare them for a certain period and then we initiate them. In 24 hours, you will see the shape of their face will change. Genetics are altered in 24 hours' time. You can see the photographic images, they have actually changed dramatically overnight simply because of a certain extension of their identity. So, in the Indian spiritual milieu, so when you say spiritual, we must understand this. This is not about looking up or looking down. When we say spiritual, we are talking about transcending the limitations of physical. So right now, the physical is here as if it's a solid entity in people's experience. But modern physics is telling you and medical science is beginning to tell you, or if people don't understand, if they just hold their nose for 2 minutes, they understand that they are not an independent existence. It is in transaction, not just in terms of breath. Even on the level of subatomic particles, it's in constant transaction. If this transaction becomes even minutely conscious, suddenly you have immense capabilities that you never thought were possible. Biological identity is the most limiting identity that you have because it limits to the area of your body. Now when you strive, you break this. It doesn't matter in what way you strive. Most people strive in unconscious, unscientific, simply out of striving, they do things. But there are ways to strive scientifically in a proper way. There are tools to strive with specific direction to break the limitations of who we are. If you break this boundary, the subatomic particles are transacting, the intelligence is transacting, only you're missing the whole game. If you don't miss the game, if you are in the game of life, not in the game of thoughts and emotions. You're in the game of life. Suddenly, just about anything you want, you can do, not this or that. I'm saying anything a human being can do, simply if he breaks his barriers. And these barriers are many levels, but the most fundamental thing is the identity.
In the process of trying to keep myself going till the next birthday, I may cripple myself, it's possible. Even if it is so, I'm willing to stay, if it is going to go like a wildfire, but I don't see.
I'm confirming this to you, for sure I'm not coming back. My moment in time, I'm fully sorted out. People around me are still thirsty to know and to grow. If they show little boredom in front of me, I'll be gone. They better know that. This will be very hard for you to digest. I'm devoted to you. Devotion does not mean that I have to bow down to you or touch your feet or sing your praises. In every way, I live for you. That's devotion. I took this very birth to make this happen for you, and that's devotion. When you hold someone's well-being above your own, that's devotion.
Somewhere we knew that such a day will come where you will leave us, but when it happened in this manner, it was like a sudden hit on your face, you know, that okay, what we thought is a long distant reality is starting to hit us now.
Renowned spiritual guru Sadhguru underwent surgery at a Delhi hospital for a life.
You can see it right there, but they are going about totally unaware of it. I would just cry. If I see people, tears would come. Now I got seasoned and I just laugh at them because there's no other way to handle life, you know. One of the ways is, now there is a wall, you jump up and fall down, you have a glimpse of the outside. There are many jumping methods. We can make you jump and have you see a glimpse of it. The glimpse is shown to you because that is not the end of it, that is the inspiration. If you don't have a glimpse, then you don't have the momentum to keep it going, isn't it? Mind becomes hopeless. Oh, maybe there is nothing beyond this. Maybe this is all there is after all. Eating, sleeping, reproducing, dying. What else is there? This is all there is to life. You'll try to convince yourself. So a little glimpse is given so that now suddenly everything here becomes stale. You want to know something there. The glimpse is only an inspiration to give you the necessary momentum to go on with life, to go on with the search and seeking. Now, jumping and looking beyond the wall was good at one time. After some time it becomes frustrating because it's just one moment looking and falling back again. So what we need to do? Now jumping is not good enough, we need to build a ladder, isn't it? I've always described yoga as a ladder to the divine because now you're learning how to build a ladder.
Most people think, generally in the world, they believe that if they die in their sleep, it's wonderful. What a horrible desire. You want to die unaware? Because you're so scared, you think dying in sleep is better than dying awake? I want you to die fully awake. This whole process of how to die, I have learned to always transform pain into a possibility. There is a whole art and a science behind it as to how to die. What are the conditions you must set up so that you die properly? Meditation is like death, Bliss see. If you really become meditative, it's almost death-like. Everything that you call as myself will die in meditation. Your personality, your accumulation, everything just falls apart. So in that moment, untying the bondages is easy, that's why meditation. So if you did not meditate, at least death, at least the natural process that is offered to you must be made use of, isn't it? A person who meditates is consciously willing to die every moment of his life. That's why he goes into meditation, so that he's constantly aware of the mortal nature of his existence, so that he doesn't become egoistic and stupid. If you know you will die tomorrow, suddenly you will see, you will have no anger, you will have no remorse, you will have no hatred, you will have no jealousy against anybody, you will become very loving and nice. An intelligent being will live with this awareness. It could be just today. Why tomorrow? What you call as life is just a brief happening. Once you're constantly aware of this, you will come alive. When you live here thinking you're immortal and eternal, then you live a stupid life because you can always do it tomorrow, you know? When to do Shambhavi? Tomorrow.
How could you just leave and go like this? We want you to be with us.
Now, the question is, look at the world, there is so much to be done. Why go? You're still too concerned about, what about me, what about me? Whatever, if you can call this a fire, this fire is choosing people selectively, it's not going like a wildfire. If it is really going to go like a wildfire, maybe we'll live for 100 years. But I don't see it that way, because people are still in the process of trying to keep myself going till the next birthday. I may cripple myself, it's possible. Even if it is so, I'm willing to stay, if it is going to go like a wildfire, but I don't see that. Isn't it? Even in our lives, still it's just a part of our lives, isn't it? It's not the whole. So we better pose that question to ourselves, why?
It's a good grounding, a good reminder that we better buckle up.
There's no question of lifetimes, this life. My concern is this life because last round for me, so… If you're coming back 100 times over, you can live a stupid life. Now when you have decided this is your last life, you better live well, isn't it? Final run. Last lap might be the best lap, isn't it?
The physical presence of the Guru is actually a hindrance. If physical presence is everything, that's called charisma, not grace. This is not charisma, this is grace. But I sit here, I don't sit here, I can run the satsang the same way. Only problem is you cannot remain focused, that is your problem. If you're willing to sit here, simply focused as you are right now, no video, no audio, no nothing, we'll still run the satsang wonderfully well, okay? It's just that, what?
The unfortunate reality for many masters in the past has been this, that always the spiritual processes that they started always gathered much more momentum after the left, for most of them. It is so. So you want to do it that way? That is also fine because the physical absence will make the other presence very powerful always. It is not just an emotion. The reality of physically being absent always enhances the other dimension much more. So, if such a thing happens tomorrow, that will also be to your benefit. You don't have to really concern about that. Tomorrow it won't happen.
Someone asked me, Sadhguru J. Krishnamurti was a master of his intellect. Rajneesh was a master of controversy. What are you? I said, I'm a master of chaos. I know how to harness chaos. I can make a chaotic situation culminate into something fantastic.
Suppose you leave tomorrow, is our spiritual journey going to end? Definitely not. Instead of piloting from outside, it could be piloted from inside.
I just have one question today. I believe you've talked about expectations, and I feel that sometimes I tend to be too inclusive in society.
Oh, what is the too inclusive?
I get over-attached to the people around me.
No, that's not inclusiveness, that is being exclusive. See, if I get attached to you only in this whole crowd, is it being exclusive or inclusive?
Exclusive.
Yeah, don't give wrong labels. You're calling exclusiveness as inclusiveness, that's trouble.
I just want to know how do I make sure that I get rid of the expectations I have from people and not let whatever their opinions are about me get to my head?
There are two openings which allow things into your head, these two. We can make Isha earplugs if you want. I didn't know there was demand for it. Our craft department can make Isha earplugs. Very organic, cotton ones, wooden ones, or just groundnuts, 2 groundnuts. High protein earplugs we can advertise. Now, what you call as attachment is a natural consequence of exclusiveness. The moment you choose between one and the other, getting tangled up with it is natural. See, we've already gone through this today. We accept both filth and fruit, but when it comes to eating, we choose the fruit. This is a choice we're making. When it comes to physical activity, we choose. But when we just sit here, where is the need to choose? For a specific activity, choices are made. But for the rest of the life, there is no need to make choices every moment of your life. Inclusiveness means this. Inclusiveness does not mean you have lost your discriminatory sense. You have your discriminatory sense. Your discriminatory sense is useful only for performing action, not for being here. For being here, you need not be discriminatory in any way. To be alive, if you discriminate, it will not work. But to act, you need discrimination, otherwise you cannot act sensibly. So this problem of getting attached or overly attached to one will naturally lead to another consequence of having deep aversion to many others. See, to balance your so-called love with one person, you will have to have deep aversion to a whole lot of people. You can't stand them. Please carefully watch and see, this is how it's working. Whether you're… maybe those people with whom you have aversion, you may not notice it unless they happen to be around you. You have aversion, but because they never came near you, it's not felt. But if they happen to come here, you will feel it, because this balance is always happening. Now, your expectations about people, this is not just about people, this is everything. What is the source of all human misery on the planet? Life is not happening the way I think it should happen. Is there any other cause I'm asking? Life is not happening the way I think it should happen. This is the only source of misery in human life, isn't it? Tell me, is it easier to change your thinking or the world? Changing your thinking is very easy, isn't it? And first of all, now, when what you think is so important for you, have you taken this faculty of thinking into your charge? No, you're in a state of mental diarrhea. If everything that happens in your thoughts
come true in your life, you're finished. Fortunately, they're not coming true. My blessing is, may your dreams not come true. Because the way you're dreaming, if all of it happens, you're finished. Because your expectation is coming from a very limited picture of life. If you want your life to yield in a maximum way, even in material life, I'm saying, in a maximum way, I'm not talking about some spiritual dimension, just in your material life, if you want to yield maximum in this world, no expectations. You know Shunya meditation? No expectations. No expectation does not mean you don't have an orientation. It is just that you don't… every moment you don't go about calculating, oh, I didn't get what I want, I didn't get what I want did not happen. No, it's just that we want to move in this direction. How far you will go will depend on how much gas you have, isn't it? And if you have expectation, you are wasting all your gas in simply revving up the engine all the time and you won't go far. This whole expectation overtaking you has happened to you because right from your childhood, people are asking, at the age of 3, people are, tell me what will you become? Will you become doctor? Will you become IT engineer? Some rubbish. At the age of 3, the expectations that parents have of their children is largely so unrealistic and stupid most of the time. It is neither good for them nor for the children, and many… right from your early age you cultivate the same trend. Let's do this much with life. See, all this problem is because happiness is a tomorrow thing. You understand? Why your expectations have such powerful grip on you is, happiness is a tomorrow thing, never a today thing. Because only if this and this happens, I will be happy. Now, as you get more miserable, as this and this gets little more away from you every day, instead of coming closer if it's going away, as you get more miserable, the power of the expectation becomes stronger and stronger. Right now, let's say you're really blissed out, but you want this to happen. We chased it. Tomorrow, instead of being closer, it's further away. It won't create any great amount of suffering, it will not. It will not create any suffering because you're joyful. So without fixing this, you're trying to do things in the world. Long time ago, it seems Krishna said, yogastaha kuru karmani. That means first establish in yoga, then act. But now you started your action in a mess, so you come to yoga. So we're trying to adjust this. You're still a young person, you do this much, forget about what you want in the world, from yourself, from the people, from the world. What you want, drop it. First establish this, that what happens within you is determined by you, nobody else but you. Just do this one thing, naturally you will choose to become pleasant. When you're very pleasant, still 10,000 things have not happened in my life. So what? With a joyful zest, I'll go after it. And the chances of fulfilling those expectations are far better. If they don't happen, who the hell cares anyway, because my experience of being here is wonderful whichever way. Without fixing the fundamental, we're trying to run away. We have not fixed this, but we are trying to take this somewhere. This is trouble. If you want to drive your car, you must see first it's properly fixed. 2 wheels are loose. It's on the jack. Now you try to drive, you know it's going to be a disaster. You're still a young person, there's no need for anything to happen in your life right now. This is a time to establish yourself. This is not a time to drive. If you drive before you fix the wheels,
it's going to be painful and disastrous. Don't do that to yourself.
Sadhguru Namaskaram. How to conduct oneself when, when you have a very exploitative spouse,
You're talking about how to conduct him or yourself?
myself.
No, actually you want to know how to fix him, right?
No, Sadhguru.
So, this is very important. I'm particularly talking to you. Please sit down. It's very important that we are straight with life, you understand? What you want is your husband fixed, but because you're sitting in front of me, you're saying, Sadhguru, how do I fix myself to fit into this exploitation? Which is not the truth. You want to know how to fix the man. Yes or no? Please tell me, all the ladies. If you perceive him, we don't know what he is, we're not talking about your husband. I do not know what he is, but if you perceive him as exploitative, obviously you want to fix him, isn't it? If you perceive yourself as a problematic wife, then maybe some thought about maybe I want to fix myself will come up. When you perceive somebody as exploitative, the intention is to fix them, isn't it? But we don't want to be straight about that, because the culture doesn't tell you, the culture tells you fixing your husband is not a good thing. You must fix yourself. So, if you get a headache, go for a foot surgery. Then the foot will be aching more than the head. Kind of fixed. At least your attention is gone. So it's time. If we are concerned about life, it's time that we are 100% straight, at least with ourselves. Maybe in the world we don't know what profession you have, what situations you have, we don't know how straight you can be. I will not interfere with that, but at least with yourself, you must be 100% straight, very important. Otherwise, neither yourself nor your life situations will ever get fixed, simply complaining and going on. Life will be a lifelong complaint for a whole lot of people because they don't want to address it, they want to beat around it. So, husband fixing program we must do. No, we fixed a whole lot of them because they became meditative and suddenly their exploitative nature went away because now they're busy with something else. So I don't want to get into a personal situation right now here, but you must bring meditativeness into you and into your family. This is something we have to invest into life now. If you are not able to fix your husband, at least you must have a wish that the next generation of husbands are not exploitative. If you're interested in that, you must make sure your little boy that you have right now, you must fix him now with some meditation. Yes, meditation is not about fixing him against something. It is just that meditativeness means to become in such a way that you are not the source of the problem. Wherever you are a solution, you are not a problem. If you become a solution, everybody will want you wherever you are, isn't it? whether it's your workplace, your family, on the street, wherever, whoever seems like a solution, that person everybody wants, yes or no? Either you're a problem or you're one who complains about problems, nobody wants to see your face. You must know this. But if you're a solution, everybody wants you, everywhere, including your husband. He will desperately want you if you are a solution to his life. Yes? So, it's important, not just you as a person, I'm saying everybody, it's important we understand. We need to understand, if we don't make this piece of life a pleasant piece of life, first of all, this is a fundamental thing. If you do this, after that you decide whether you need marriage, you don't need marriage, you need children, you don't need children, all these things you decide later. When this is miserable, you have no business to multiply it. Yes or no? Misery, I can't get along with my husband, I can't get along with my wife, already children coming, why? If you cannot get along, how is this happening? Because we have chosen to live unconsciously. I'm not saying live this way or that way. Whatever the hell you do it by choice and consciously, that's all. Knowing the full implications of what it means. Yes? That much responsibility everybody must take, isn't it? If you do not bring into this, you will be a lifelong complaint. I will not tell you how to deal with your marriage. You bring this much into your life. Before marriage, no, Sadhguru, I didn't want, but my parents, I got married. After marriage, I don't want to live in this marriage, but my children, After the children have grown up, but I have to wait for my grandchildren. See, you have made yourself in such a way that you are a result of an unconscious process. You are not a result of a conscious process. When you are a result of an unconscious process, you are bound to be a miserable accident. Yes. It's time every human being takes responsibility to at least change this much, then we can talk about big things. Reaching the peak of your consciousness, mukti, moksha, don't utter these words cheaply. Don't utter these words. First fix the fundamentals. The fundamentals are just this, whatever the hell you are right now, it's yours. Either you must have the courage to change it, or you must learn to settle into it. Yes? Yes or no? Either you must have the courage to change it, or you must learn to settle into it. One of these things you must do. Simply endless complaint for the rest of your life is no good. It is just that we must understand, if we are in a certain state, everything feels like it's against us. You fix this, after that you decide which way your life should be. You stay there, there's a consequence, you get out, there's a consequence. Everything there is a consequence. But at least let it be a conscious consequence. Instead of being a helpless, unconscious state of existence. 3:45, 3:40, I just come awake. Because some changes happen in the nature at that time. My body just comes awake. If I want, I can get up and do what I want. If I don't want, I can sleep some more, but it always comes awake. So you have to bring some sensitivity into the system that, see, you are a product of this planet, yes or no? Whatever nonsense individuals may think about themselves, we are all just a pop-up from this planet. You've seen those pop-ups on the computer screen? Pop, pop, yes? You're just a pop-up, you'll be gone. You can't believe you will be gone. Ah, me? I will be gone? Yes, all the very smart people, countless number of people who walked this planet before and you and me, where the hell are they, huh? Not a sign. All became topsoil, isn't it so? Weren't they pop-ups? Aren't you a pop-up? Poop, poop. You may think you have a great life and this and that. As far as the earth is concerned, it's just recycling its soil. Just throws you up and draws you back, throws you up and draws you back. So in this little pop-up, the important thing and the most important thing is, you create sensitivity within you, such sensitivity that every dimension of life comes into your experience. Before you fall dead, is it not important you experience this life in this fullest possible scale? Yes or no? Experience means people think we must party every day. No, same damn thing how many times you will do. There is much more for the human life to explore. You must become sensitive. When I say sensitive, because the word sensitive is used in the wrong way, in the sense, when people say, oh, she's very sensitive, we are supposed to understand, she will get hurt for just about anything. Yes? No, being sensitive to life and being ego-sensitive are two different things. Being sensitive to life means if you walk into this hall, you experience everything that's here, you don't miss a thing. If you walk outside, you don't miss a thing. Every dimension of life should come into your experience. This happened. Shankaran Pillai bought a work… what? He bought a work donkey. And the man who was selling the donkey said, see, this is a very sensitive donkey. You cannot beat this donkey. You cannot use bad words, you cannot abuse this donkey. Shankaran Pillai said, that's great. Every day I'm tired of beating these donkeys and abusing. Every day I have to use filthy words to get these donkeys moving. I like a sensitive donkey, and he paid little extra bonus for the sensitivity of the donkey and took it home. He left it in the barn, and tomorrow morning he has to go to work. He went there and told the donkey, please, let's go. No response. He said, please, let us go. Nothing. He went down on his knees and prayed. Nothing. You're not supposed to abuse it, you're not supposed to beat it. Not knowing what to do, he went back to the man who sold the donkey. See, I requested, I pleaded, I prayed. He's not responding, what am I supposed to do? That man said, is that so? Let me see. And he came. He picked up a thick stick like that. One whack on the head. And then he threw the stick and said, come. The donkey followed. Shankaran Pillai got furious, you idiot, you said it's a sensitive donkey, and the way you hit this animal, I've never hit an animal like this in my life. He said, no, he's very sensitive, first you have to get his attention. So, developing sensitivity means, if you simply close your eyes, you must know what phase of moon it is right now, because all this is playing in your body. Every day it is playing in your system. Do you see if it's a full moon or a new moon, the entire ocean is coming up? There are tides, isn't it? You ever been to the ocean side or you don't? You do? There are tides? Yes. The whole ocean is trying to rise. 72% of your body is water. You think nothing is rising? It is. For every position of the sun, moon and many things that are happening to the planet, they're happening to you. You must become life-sensitive. Then you will know how to manage every aspect of your life. Don't become ego-sensitive, don't become society-sensitive. Life-sensitive if you become. What's happening with this life if you know this one thing all the time? You will see, you got your GPS on. There's really no problem, you will never get lost. It doesn't matter who says what kind of situations you're put into, you are never ever lost. because you're life-sensitive. This is all this life needs, that this has to become life-sensitive. Right now, we have developed a psychological structure which has got nothing to do with life, it's got something to do with the social scene, got nothing to do with the life. Thank you very much. I think people… Are we okay? Because people were looking at watches, so I thought I've exceeded my time.
That was the last question we were taking. If you have any other questions, you can put it up on social media. Sadhguru, we would like to thank you so much for gracing us with your presence today. We would like to thank…
Well, I would like to say a few words. All of you young girls or women or however we refer to you, you look like girls to me. That may be because of my… See, I want you to understand, everywhere in the world, but particularly in our country, so many young women of your age in rural India, in various other levels of society, what all they're going through in terms of lack of nourishment, lack of education, abuse, all kinds of terrible things, no opportunity of any kind. All of you have come into a premier institution like this. Make this a possibility, don't get tangled up with your own thoughts, emotions and make a misery out of this life. You must become a great possibility for yourself and every other life around you. Beyond gender, beyond race and religion, even beyond nationality, just function as a human being. This education should become an empowerment to empower you to become a great human being, because without producing great human beings, we are not going to produce a great nation. May the best be with you. Thank you very much. First of all, you must understand what is inside, okay, and what is outside. If you do not understand what is inside and outside, then you will go to all the wrong places. Now, what is inside? Your body, accumulated over a period of time, yes or no? Hello? No? What you accumulate can be yours, cannot be you. Is that much clear? Whatever it may be. What you accumulate can be yours, cannot be you. So this body is an accumulation. What you call as my mind, the whole content of the mind is accumulated depending upon what you're exposed to in your life. So your body is a heap of food, small or big. Your mind is a heap of impressions, again small or big. Between these two heaps, where the hell are you? So, inside, outside, leave these words because when it comes to language, there is only that much leeway. So within that, maybe different people are trying to use it in different ways. We don't know in what context they used. You put everybody into one bundle and say, all of you said this, I don't know who these all people are. Different people employed different methods around them, looking at the people around them, what was best suitable for the people around them, accordingly they would have worked most probably. If they're genuine, they would have worked with the people around them, not with concepts from somewhere. Looking at an individual person, you will do something, what works for that person. What you do with this person may not work for another person, you'll have to do something else with that person. But you're talking about a generic inward-outward. So first determine what is inward-outward. Everything is outward right now. The world is outside, body is also external material, all the material in the mind also is external. So what is this inward you're talking about? Then you will immediately say, Atma, Paramatma, soul, this one. Now you're going into belief system. You don't know. You know you have a body, yes? Hello? Yes. Please check your neighbors. You know you have a body. You believe you have a mind. But to some extent you know. But rest is belief. Yes or no? Yes. I'm not questioning whether it's true or false, let's not go there at all. But it's belief, it's not yet in your experience. If you talk about something which is not yet in your experience, to put it bluntly, you're just a bloody liar. That's what it means. But because lies are holy, lies are written in scriptures, lies are repeated by all kinds of people who are dressed in different ways which are supposed to be holy though ridiculous. Because of this, you're not supposed to question these words. Anywhere you go, first thing is people say, Sadhguru, what about the soul? I ask them, which soul, right or left? So, let's not talk about something that is not in your experience. Right now, your body is in your experience to some extent, your mind is in your experience to some extent, rest you don't know. But we can infer. If I have to accumulate this much body, if I have to accumulate this much mind, something more fundamental must be there. Yes? Something more fundamental must be there. We don't know what the hell it is. For now, we will call it you. How you will go into yourself? I'm asking. You can go into this hall, you can go out of this hall. How will you go into yourself, I'm asking? Saying, let's leave this is not the way. You do this way. What is not you, all those things you keep it aside. Before today, before you go to bed, everything that's not you, keep it aside. They may be precious to you. You think about it, your house, is it you? Oh, my house. All right, you have lots of passion about it, but all right, keep it aside. Your husband, is it you? No, that's easy, he's not me. My children, are they me? Oh, little difficulty, but no, they're not me. They're beginning to tell you, if they're 12, they've already told you. So the clothes that you wear, is that you? No. The body that you wear, is that you? No. All these thoughts and emotion, is this you? No. Everything that's not you, keep it in one heap. Not physically, just do this mentally. Keep everything aside. Let me see. Every day you practice this, one day when you successfully keep everything aside that you are not, what you are will be there. We have too many ideas about things that we have not seen. It's a big problem. Shankaran Pillai went to Britannia. Can I? Shankaran Pillai went to Britannia Industries to find a job, So they were looking for a really smart, far-seeing sales manager. So they asked him one question, which is further, Mumbai or moon? Shankaran Pillai thought. He said, Mumbai. So what? Mumbai is further than the moon? He said, yes. How? Well, I can see the moon, I can't see Mumbai. So what I'm saying is, if you go by your present perception, you'll get all the wrong conclusions. So don't be in a rush to make conclusion. Let's pay a little more attention. You are a worthwhile life which deserves some attention, isn't it? Don't seek other people's attention. Your own attention, doesn't this life deserve attention? Pay attention to this, enough attention, everything will be clear. Everything about you, you're asking me, if I tell you what you have some more words. Some more words you have, that will not get you anywhere near the truth. One more word or 10 more words doesn't get you any closer to reality, just you'll have more things to say to somebody else. This kind of hearsay is spreading in the world. Everybody knows where God is, who his wife is, how many children he has, when is his birthday, his address. In every bhajan, people are singing his address, where he is and how to get him, but they don't know a damn thing about themselves. This kind of what to say, a very knowledgeable ignorance is dangerous, no? If you do not know, it's not a problem. If I say I do not know, the possibility of knowing is always there, isn't it? If I do not know and I think I know, then I've destroyed all possibilities. So, we have arrived at many things, we know, in every culture they know what is the nature of God, where he resides, how the ambience is there and the works, you know. Everybody knows the geography of the heavens, isn't it, don't you? But you don't know a damn thing about yourself. It's time you pay attention because everything you know it only the way it's projected in the firmament of your mind. You don't know anything any other way, yes or no? So, what you need to fix is, you are seeing everything in a mirror of your mind and the mirror is wonky. First fix it. First thing is to make it stable, flat, proper plane mirror so that you see everything the way it is. Does a plane mirror show you everything the way it is? Everything reversed, you know. Then you will have to flip it, that will take much more skill. Most people can't flip a dosa. Now, to flip the whole universe, the whole life that is reflecting in your mind, to flip it over without shattering it into pieces will take much more, but the first thing is to level out the mirror so that it shows you everything the way it is, not some other way. Right now, everything is seen depending upon how you're identified with something. Every identity has distorted the mirror of your mind and it shows you things in completely different way in the way it is. First thing is, stop talking about things that you do not know. No soul, no Atman, no Paramatman, no God, no divine, no heaven. Talk about something that you know, and then the longing to take the next step will become strong. Otherwise, when you know the geography of the heaven, what is the need to pay attention to anything?
Be a multiplier of love and knowledge. Share this video with those you love, and together, let's spread light throughout the world. you.